fans out there, what a treat I have for you today in the artists that we have on this episode of Coda Country Chats. We are joined today by Kelsey Hickman. How are you today, Kelsey?
I'm good. Good morning from Nashville. Let's do it.
Yeah. Kelsey's a singer-songwriter out of Nashville, who is like a self-proclaimed sweet sinner with a smart-ass kind of soul. So I can't wait to hear more from you today. Tell me
That's
a little
right.
bit. You just released a new single called Love You, Hate You. And the rest of that tagline in that song is Love You, Hate You at the same time. This was back in
Yeah.
December for the listeners out there who want to check out some of Kelsey's singles. Tell me, what was the process like getting acquainted with that song, recording it in the studio? Tell me more about it.
When I first heard that song, honestly, I could relate to it because I mean everybody's been through that toxic relationship, and also whenever I listened to it, obviously relating to it, I wanted to sing the hell out of it. I wanted to put my own spin
Yeah.
on it. I wanted to scream it from the rooftops as soon as I heard it. And Don Miggs he was the producer that produced it. And Preston
Hmm.
from Low Cash, they both wrote it. And Don was like,
Cool.
shop my catalog. He's like, get in here. He's like, I want you to see what I got. And I was like, okay. Because normally, like, you go in, you write your own stuff, and you just kind of go that route. But once I heard this song, I was like, no, I have to cut this. And just
Yeah,
how it's written with the LUV and the H and the 8, I was like, this is cool. Like, I want to be
it is
cool.
very
Like, this
cool.
is, so whenever I heard it, it fit really well. And I just wanted I wanted the world to hear it. And it was just sitting in that catalog. I was like, this is perfect for this first project that I'm putting out. And I couldn't be more happy.
Exactly. Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm going to share a little personal anecdote. When I first saw the title of the song, do you remember like back in the day when we had the like old Nokia phones that were like bricks and you
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
texted? That's how I remember
Like
texting is like
T9.
LUV. Yes,
Yeah.
T9. Exactly. That's how I remember
Yep.
texting. So that just
Yeah.
brought back a little bit of nostalgia. And then the sound itself of the song, what a like you said, shout out from the rooftops, rock
Yeah.
along, headbang in your car. Yes, I
Hmm.
definitely get all of that out of this song.
Good.
And
That's what
so,
I wanted. That's what
yeah.
I wanted from that.
Well, and then listen to some of the other songs in your catalog, like Love is for Suckers, that's also going to be out on your new album or a new
Yes.
EP. Tell me how those two singles and the other songs coming from the EP that you have coming out hang on. Listeners, make sure that you check out Kelsey Hickman's new EP that's dropping on February 16th. It's called Lights Out. So, going back in. Now, talking about Love is for Suckers and Love You, Hate You at the same time, those two songs, how do they kind of mesh with the other songs that you have coming out on the EP?
I mean, it's all relationship stuff, it's just all that toxic crap that we go through. And I mean, it sucks, but a lot of us go through that and relate to it. And it's like, one of the things is I sing these songs because they're vulnerable songs.
Yeah.
They're songs that
Hmm.
they say things that you're not supposed to say out loud, that you're supposed to keep inside. And I just believe that we're supposed to feel everything, feel it, and either move on or figure it out. And it's just being vulnerable to me. It's just it's such a big part in the music industry in general, because like,
Yeah.
not to get sidetracked, but you go into room with rights with people that you don't even know that you meet, and you're supposed to dish out these songs that are like supposed to touch people and really make them move, and it's like it's a very vulnerable space. So
Mhm.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
doing these songs and putting them out there, I just want people to feel safe. I want people to scream it out. I want them to like get the demons out, you know what I mean? So like that's
Yeah.
kind of what those 3 songs that I just released, that's kind of what they
Mhm.
were about for me. And I've gotten and that's the response I want to get from everybody else, hopefully. But
Mhm.
there's a couple other ones on the EP that I really like. The Lights Out, like that's like one of my sexy songs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I kind of like that one. That was a lot of fun. And then there's one coming out in February that's like
Mhm.
my jam. It is my favorite. As soon as I heard the guitar lick, I was like, this is mine. Nobody else's. I'm like, nobody touched this. So, I mean, it's just, I think it's just about being who you are, being vulnerable, and being okay with it. Just don't let that stuff bottle up inside.
Yeah. So you were just talking a little bit about like getting in a room sometimes with strangers that you'd never met
Hmm.
before. How do you how do you start off a writing process with people who don't really know who you are? How do you,
Hmm.
I guess, get acquainted quickly enough to be that vulnerable, to show that side of
Yeah.
yourself?
Oh, yeah. I mean, trust me, you're going to go into so many rooms and you're going to be like, what the hell am I doing here? You know?
Yeah.
And then it kind of, it's either you click right off the bat, or you write through the whole thing and you still walk out of
Mhm.
there being like, what the hell was that? I mean, I'm just being honest. You
Yeah.
never know. And
Mhm.
I mean, that is a beauty and a curse of it all. But at the same
For
time, like
sure.
if you're writing and you're in those rooms and you're just meeting these people, that's a huge step. That's literally the biggest step you can take, is just doing it.
Right.
Once you do it, start doing it, keep doing it, because it's scary and you just have
Mhm.
to jump. You can't not jump.
Yes. And that, again, that's all about being vulnerable and kind of being in the
Hmm.
moment. And well, and with Nashville being such a collaborative writing town, it's almost like the more people that you can talk with, work with, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
almost the better, you know?
Yeah, and I
So,
mean, you can bring in an idea into one room that you've been in before, and then to bring an idea to another room, and you'll get two completely different songs. It's really cool. It's
yeah,
it's it's a good world. I love it.
I never thought about that because I guess it depends on who you're talking to in that moment and like where their
Mhm.
headspace is coming from, you know?
Yeah. Mhm.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Do you
Yeah.
have like Do you have a favorite writing session or a group of people that you really love to write with right now? I don't know.
Um.
Ooh, it's a tough
Well,
question.
I met this, I call him, he's a character. This guy named Chief, and I met
Chief?
him last year, and he's the best. I feel so comfortable with him, and he writes bangers, and he's just fun,
Yeah.
and that's another thing, is like you got to remember, like, yes, this is our career and our dreams, but you got to have fun. Go in there and just, with no expectations, and just see what happens, and try to have a good time, because life is so
Yeah.
short, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna get in our stress ball and worry about things, but at the same time, like, just get in there, do your thing, know who you are, and just rock it. That's it. That's all you can do.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool though. It's great to know that the the community of musicians in Nashville is just kind of, what it is, and you get something new every day, it seems like, which is
Oh yeah.
really encouraging and really awesome to hear. Tell me this. Okay. You've been in the music scene for a really long time, coming from
Hmm.
Illinois and then making your move to Nashville. You really like became the front lead singer of a band back when you were 16.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how, I guess, starting that young and then
Hmm.
continuing on in your music career has kind of morphed you into this awesome
Yeah.
artist you are today. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, I nobody in my family sings. It was never like a thing for any of us, honestly. But I did the choir, and I did musicals and things like that. And
Cute.
just one day, it was so. I mean, I've always sang along to karaoke tracks and did that kind of thing, but I just never thought it could be like a career. Honestly, I was
Yeah.
like, and my dad, I was always like, no, you're going to college, you're getting a degree, whatever, whatever. I didn't even know
Mhm.
anything about Nashville. I had no clue, none.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I get in this band, and it's me and like a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old. Like, it was just one
That's
of those
so
like
funny.
small town bands.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
couldn't be more thankful for it, though, because I really got my feet wet, and we performed. That was my, I mean, playing music has been my source of income since I was 16. I've been paying my
Awesome.
bills this way since I was 16. And, you know, we chased a dream, you know, for those amount of years, and we got to open up for people and do those kinds of things. And just, it was all central Illinois based. And I'm literally like, I could not be more thankful. Like, I'll never forget the one moment I'll never forget out of that is, we actually got to open up for Chris Young in one of our, I mean, I guess you can say like convention centers, you know, in that small
Yeah.
town. And my mom and I were in the green room after that. I don't know what clicked in my head, but I was like, Mom, like, I have to do this for the rest of my life, and I don't know how. I'm like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, how are we gonna do
Aw.
this? And I think I was like 19 at that point. And
Mhm.
so I think I went and took my first trip to Nashville the year after that. And then I was like, okay,
Cool.
I guess let's start here. I still didn't know. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more grateful for that experience. I mean, it was memories I'll never forget.
It's so funny that I'm gonna get a little personal with you because that's kind of how I started playing and singing in a band too when I was like 15 and
Really?
16 years old with like 30, 40, 50
That's
year old men. And
see,
it was,
that's
it's
awesome.
so random. But I get that like sometimes you kind of have to just like work with the people that you're with. And like, I'm sure in your case too, like the folks that I was working with were some of the best in the area
Yeah, and
because like,
yeah,
you know, yeah,
they've been
it's like
doing it
you
for
just,
so long. They've been doing it for so long. They have a family there, and they just did it for
yeah,
fun on the weekends. That's what they did.
yeah.
And I mean, I was like, well, how do we do this every weekend?
Full time. Yeah,
Forever?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, well, that's okay. And you talked a little bit about some of your like opening slots for different artists like Chris Young. If you were to name like a favorite venue or a favorite performance, and this can be like after that time, um,
Uh-huh.
what do you think that would be? Like if you could
One of my
pinpoint
favorite
a
one of my
specific one.
favorite ones as of right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my goodness. I'd have to say, okay, so this will get just a little deep, but
Okay.
it was actually this summer. So I'm from Sherman, Illinois, and they built an
Okay.
amphitheater, right?
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
so
Cool.
they would bring me back to play, and it was Father's Day weekend, and my dad and I, you know, for the longest time, we never agreed on this career and this path that I've
Mhm.
taken. And it
Yeah.
took a long time for us to get where we are today on it. And now he's very supportive. But he actually got on stage and announced me and said, you know, this is Kelsey Hickman. Welcome to the stage on Father's Day weekend. So that was just a
Oh,
big thing in our relationship in general. And just, you know, playing in my hometown, it's always a good time. I have so many good supporters back there. And I
yeah.
mean, it's not Bridgestone, but it really meant a lot to me.
Kind of like a full circle moment though, because like you
Yeah.
were saying, he wanted you to go to college and do all that, and then that here is this important show for you, and he's being such a huge supporter like he always is, and
Hmm.
introducing you to the crowd. Like that is incredible. No, I
Yeah,
love
it was
hearing that
cool.
story.
It was cool. Yeah. I mean, I'll never forget that. That's for sure.
Oh, that's very personal. I love that so, so much. So, talking to me a little bit more about live shows and performances, what's next on your calendar for spots you'll be performing? Maybe something in
Um,
Nashville, maybe something afar. What you got?
yeah. So I perform on Broadway a couple days a week whenever I'm not writing
Cool.
or on the road and things like that. So I have a couple shows coming up. I actually play tonight. So I'll be on
Yay.
Broadway tonight. But I actually will be in New Jersey playing at Sean's Crazy Saloon for St. Patty's Day weekend. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then
Hell yeah, that
I
sounds fun.
love going down to Floribama. I play down there with my band at least a couple times a year. And that is a
Yes.
time, let me tell you. Oh my God, I love it down there.
It's
It's so much
so
fun.
crazy. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
The times that
it's a
I've
blast.
experienced Floribama,
Hmm.
sometimes I remember them and sometimes I don't. So I get it. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But I'm hoping once I release this EP that I'm going to try to get on the books at some venues, all over the country, hopefully, and just kind of get these songs out there. And I want people to hear them. And yeah, there's a lot of people that come to Nashville, but I got to go to these people. I got to go to all your small town venues. I got to show them what I got and show them what I've been working on because I'm really excited about it.
And I guess that's like how you build a bigger base is starting with those smaller venues and then growing to the bigger venues and grabbing
Hmm.
the fans along the way and just pulling them along with you, you know?
That's
Wow,
the
that's
goal.
awesome to hear.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Well, let me talk to you a little bit about this too, because I like skipped over when we were talking about your background and starting as a young singer. Who do you think has had the biggest influence on your sound? Artists that you've listened to once you were younger,
Let's
songs that you used to
see.
play. Yeah, who do you think um
Well, honestly, influence on sound, I have no idea because I've had this raspy voice my whole life, and I feel like in the past like 4 or 5 years, I've actually figured out how to use it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
cool. Yeah, yeah.
honestly, I've always known I can sing, but like
Mhm.
I think I was maybe intimidated by this rasp that I have and not knowing
Mhm.
whether it was okay or people would like it or things like that. So I
Right.
feel like I was just like at one point I was like, screw it. I'm like, this is me. I don't care anymore. Like this is how I sound and
Mhm.
I'm gonna go for it. But I Shania Twain, like that was my girl whenever I was growing up and I was a little kid. Oh my God, like
Yeah.
that was just she was it. Like that Come Over
Mhm.
album, I swear, it
Oh,
was,
what a
and back
queen.
then, like now looking at it as like an artist, I'm like, back then I didn't know how brilliant it really was. I just thought it was cool and I loved her sound and it was fun. But now as
Yeah.
an artist, I'm like, that album is iconic. Like I knew
Yes.
something back in the day, I guess. But this rasp that I've got, honestly, like I've started listening to a lot of Miley Cyrus and just kind of
Yeah.
seeing like what she does, and I love how she hits those low notes, but she can kick those high notes up. I love that. So that's like
Yes.
one of my big
Yes.
inspirations right now. And just like kind of
Awesome.
just really listening to her and just playing around with some of her stuff and just kind of incorporating it into some of my stuff. I mean, she's killing it. I love it.
Definitely. You know what's funny is that whenever I was listening to Love You, Hate You, I kind of heard a little bit of like See You Again from Miley Cyrus. Like a
Cool.
little bit of
Yes.
it, just a
Love
little
that.
taste, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Love
So I
that.
totally get the influence thing. No, I
Yeah.
love that too.
I gotta stop
So
being
okay.
scared of that.
No, I think it's awesome because like you said, the fans that see you at these venues, they're gonna grasp on and that rasp makes you uniquely you. So I think
Yeah.
it's awesome to hear that.
Thank
Very cool.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, okay. Um, let's think a little bit further down the road. If you could maybe like drop a 5-year plan or like in a year or in 2 years, I want to be doing this. Do you have any ideas like that going on in your
Oh
head?
yeah. How much time do you
Yeah.
have?
Let's go for it. I'm ready
um,
to hear it. Here we go.
I mean, I just gotta, like I said, the past like 4 or 5 years, I've really uh, come into my own, I guess, after COVID. Um, I just was like, screw it. Like I'm gonna release whatever I want if I like
Yeah.
it, and if it's, I don't care about the timing anymore. I don't care if other people don't like it. Like I mean, I don't want to say that, but I at this point, I'm like, I just want to release songs and love it and do this and for the rest of my life and see what happens. Like
Yeah.
I'm throwing paint at the wall, because there's so
Yeah.
many people out there that are doing exactly what I'm doing. And I have, I was in my head for a long time, I know, just about like, well, is it gonna mesh with everybody? Like, is it gonna work? Are people gonna like it? Like, all those kind of things. And I'm like, Kelsey,
Yeah.
what are you doing? You know who you
Hmm.
are. You know what you can bring to the table. You've been doing this for so long. Get out of your
That's
head
right,
and
girl.
just do it. Just
Hmm.
do it.
Hmm.
And I did it, thank God. So after COVID, I really I found, I met with a lot of different people and I really put my nose to the grindstone and just kind of tried to find my tribe. And
Yeah.
I think I finally have, which is really exciting and really cool because I trust these people I have amazing supporters. I have amazing backers. I have amazing team right now that I just continue to build. And that's something I had to learn for sure. But let's see, in the next like 5 years, I want to just keep releasing songs that I love. And I want to hear from the fans. I want to build a bigger fan base. I already have like a pretty good one right now, but I just want to be bigger and better and work hard and just see where I can take this thing. Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, like I said, life is short and we can't, I know this is all cliche stuff, but I mean, we can't take tomorrow with us. So I literally have to just work my butt off and take this thing to the top. That's my goal. That's just my goal.
That's so insightful though, because I was recently on another interview with a guy, and it's like he developed this mantra of appreciate what you have when you have it, because like you said, life is short. You never know
Mm-hmm.
when it's going to just all disappear, but at the same time, living in the moment and living what you have, I mean, that speaks volumes, especially
Yeah.
to you and your uniqueness and all that you have going for you. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see what the next few years brings about, especially after this EP drops. I think it's going to be pretty stellar for music
I'm excited.
whenever it comes out. Absolutely. So, Kelsey, before we hop off the show today, first of all, I've loved hearing more about you. I think I gained like a natural connection to artists before I even have them on my show, just like listening to the music they've created, and now like
Yeah.
hearing more of your story and learning more about you. I think it's even like I'm becoming even more of a fan. So,
Cool.
is there,
Yay.
of course, tell me, is there anything else or anyone that you'd like to give a shout out to, or anything that you'd like to promote before hopping off the show today?
Let's see. I mean, I'm going to shout out my team over at Shelter Music, and I couldn't do any of this. They've really helped me in the past year. And
Yay.
also my producer, Don Miggs. Meeting him was really brilliant, honestly. And he opened my eyes and he encouraged me and he really made me excited again, excited to release music and to, basically tell me, Kelsey, go throw paint at the wall. No one's stopping you. Just
Yeah.
do it, you know? And
Yeah.
on another note, I lost my grandpa a couple months ago, and he was literally the only reason why I ever did any of this. And
Mhm.
he it was I had a dream the other night that he came to me in my dream and just basically was like, I'm don't worry about your future because I'm gonna be there. So just putting that out
Oh,
there, that's why I keep saying life is short, because he got taken away from us tragically. So
oh,
just live every day like it's your last and just let's go, man. 2024. Like I'm ready
that's
for it.
right.
I'm so ready for it. Yeah.
Wow. I'm glad that you said that though, because you always have somebody in your corner, especially,
Mhm.
from beyond with your grandpa. That's
Yeah.
such a sweet little sentiment to think of like that. And I'm sorry to hear about his passing, but wow.
Thank you.
What an amazing dream to just keep you motivated, to keep you
It did.
going. I love
It did.
that.
I needed it. It came at the right time. I needed it. It's crazy.
Awesome. Can you shout out your social media handle so our listeners can find you on social
Yes.
media?
My Instagram handle is underscore Kelsey Hickman underscore, which I don't know why it's like that. I probably should change that. But
No.
and then it's just Kelsey Hickman music all across the board on everything else. So
Cool.
please look me up and follow this crazy journey that I'm doing. It's a wild one.
That's right. Kelsey, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for
I really
having
have
me. Oh
enjoyed
my
this.
gosh, you made me so comfortable and this was so much fun. I really appreciate it.
Yay! I'm so glad to hear that. Listeners out there, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Coda Country Chats with Kelsey Hickman. Y'all have a great day. Thanks so much.